Jake.
Amir.
Call me Jake.
Absolutely not.
This is Jake and Amir. These guys need no introduction, and if you don't know who they are by now, get the fuck out.
Are you... Oh, come on.
But please don't actually, because I want to talk about them, why they're so funny, what you can learn from them to make your writing funnier, and why Jake and Amir might just be the funniest web series of all time.
Alright, I thought of a good idea for a Vimeo, and it's called Quick Characters.
Jake and Amir begins in the offices of CollegeHumor, somewhere in New York, after work, where the comedic duo, Jake Hurwitz and Amir Blumenfeld, are messing around, filming each other doing characters on what seems to be a brick of a camera.
It wasn't even a scripted thing. It was just an idea that I had where Jake would pick up a camera, face it towards me, and tell me to act in a certain way as a certain character. And I would pick up the camera at any time during the day, face it towards him, press record, and have him act in a certain way.
The video, while not being really a sketch at all, probably more accurately defined as improv, perfectly illustrates why Jake and Amir works. These guys are funny together.
Does it taste?
Yeah.
I know that
Like what?
It tastes like crud.
Very quickly, the videos become actual written sketches, most commonly filmed in simple shot reverse shot, where the humorous and exaggerated characters of Jake and Amir emerge.
How many beers did you have?
60.
This is the 9th episode of the series, titled Beer, generally considered the first true episode of Jake and Amir. In it, Amir tries to convince Jake that he loves beer, clearly never having it before.
What does it taste like?
Sweet. So sweet. Like sugar. What?
It's not sweet.
What?
Like sugar?
No, it tastes not like sugar. It tastes like the opposite.
One of the great things about Jake and Amir is that it doesn't take very much to explain, just as it does not take very much to get into. Jake plays the rational straight man, and Amir plays his obsessive, oblivious, and insane coworker.
New year, new rule. You can't make fun of me. If and only if
What the f was that?
you don't make fun of me.
No, you just puked on the floor.
Okay.
These roles also sometimes reverse, as Jake commonly becomes insecure around his other coworkers or when realistically challenged by Amir.
Woo!
Holy shit, you're wearing earrings.
Holy shit, you're a loser.
This would be the part of the video essay where I try to explain why the premise is deceptively simple, but I can't. It's just simple. But 750 episodes and a billion views later, it's impossible and incorrect to say it doesn't work.
Number 8. Would it kill you to put some veggies on your plate? A strawberry, a yam, asparagus, or meat?
Sorry, which one of those is a vegetable to you?
Asparagus. Asparagus is a vegetable.
Yeah, you also said strawberries and meat.
Jake and Amir eventually becomes Jake and Amir's full-time job. 2 sketches a week for about 8 years. And it's the simple premise that allows for seemingly endless sketches to be made. Most episodes just feature Jake and Amir at or around their desk, having a funny conversation revolving around a specific topic, although the topic is nearly always a MacGuffin that is there to simply accelerate Amir's absurdity.
What?
What are you doing?
You know how you're always telling me to blend stuff? Like, blend.
I've told you to shower. I've told you to stop being mean to children.
Sometimes there's not even dialogue at all. Break a Leg is an episode that's done entirely in silence, aside from the very last second of the sketch. It has Amir obnoxiously eating a bag of potato chips while distracted by some program he is consuming, annoying Jake, and eventually unknowingly breaking through the bag, through his skin, and yanking out a bone in his leg as a concerned crowd forms around the scene. These episodes are fun and give us some variation, but who am I kidding? It's the dialogue, the banter, the nonsensical Amir lines of questioning that really make the show what it is.
Whoa. Aw. You gotta give me a sip of that. You gotta give me some of that soda. Give me a sip of that soda.
Soda says, give me a sip, you
Come on, man, you gotta give me a sip of that soda. I don't wanna ask twice.
You just asked me like 5 different ways, one of which was a terrible Yoda impression.
Yeah, not so terrible that you didn't recognize that it was Yoda.
That's not an accomplishment. Don't write it in that book.
Last Night demonstrates the myriad of ways that Jake and Amir can be funny within a singular joke. In the sketch, Jake recounts all the ways Amir had ruined his friend's birthday party the night before, including the multiple times Amir whipped out his penis and failed to pee. Throughout Jake's account of Amir's behavior, we find the story itself funny, especially picturing the situation in our heads based on what we know about Amir. We also find the matter-of-fact way in which Jake recalls and describes the info to Amir funny. And finally, of course, we find Amir's reaction and defense of himself funny, as he tries his hardest to ignore, deflect, or justify all of his heinousness.
I had just drained the main vein, like 25 seconds earlier.
Okay, I'm not upset that you couldn't pee, I'm upset that you tried.
Dog is another sketch that follows this winning formula, with Jake informing Amir that bringing in a rabid Rottweiler to bring your dog to work day was not a good idea.
So the bitch barked a bit.
What are you talking about, barked a bit? She killed 2 dogs. She ate 2 other dogs and bit a bunch of people.
I like this one a lot, especially when it later flips the format around to have Amir telling backstory about the dog and Jake reacting. When Jake and Amir are at their best, their comedy feels like LP and Killer Mike trading verses on a Run the Jewels song, bouncing off each other in fun, sometimes unpredictable, but satisfying ways.
Long story short,
Did you bring those in for that joke?
I inadvertently trained this she-bitch to hate the sight of other dogs and to love the taste of blood.
How was that inadvertent? It was precise. It was methodical. It was illegal.
The various layers of comedy are also clearly present in their Scrolls video series. The list Amir presents are themselves funny due to their absurdity and Amir's odd enthusiasm and dedication to them, but what's even better is Jake's reaction and then Amir's reaction to Jake's response. Often in the sketches, Jake will be addressing something inappropriate that Amir had done, while Amir completely overrides his claims with the scroll he had written the night before and is dying for Jake to hear.
Number 3, for me, is anything free. I'm talking about what a patron doesn't finish at the bar, I'm chugging that bitch and running real far.
Terrible way to live your life.
Jake and Amir also works well in an ensemble, often even better. I didn't grow up watching new Jake and Amirs as they dropped in the late 2000s and into the early 2010s, but it would have been really cool to see in real time both the CollegeHumor cast members and the eventual guest stars really buy into the Jake and Amir brand of comedy. Jake and Amir was the first place I got to see the comedic talents of actors like Thomas Middleditch, Ben Schwartz, and Kumail Nanjiani. Larger casted Jake and Amirs, even if that means, as they commonly are, just one extra character, really open up the sketches for more jokes. They allow for more comedic left turns and allows Jake, who nearly always plays the straight man character, to be just as weird and insecure as Amir.
Hey,
I don't like it.
I haven't even told you what it is yet.
Is it the voice?
Barely. It's such a subtle change, I'm surprised you even realized it.
Not.
Subtle, but much better.
It's neither. God, you look really weird when you talk like that, too.
New Voice is one of my all-time favorite sketches, and its best moment happens during this transition where Jake, after initially making fun of Amir's goofy-sounding deeper new voice, takes a compliment from another coworker and runs with it.
That's not natural. You make this face. How is this a natural thing?
Whoa, Jake, cool voice.
Thanks. No. Yeah. Yes. A million times yes, okay? This is mine now.
Another great thing about having 700-something episodes of a sketch show is the insane amount of recurring jokes that you can make. Countless callbacks and callbacks to callbacks fill every sketch with additional inside jokes that serve to amplify whatever is already funny about the scenario or dialogue. One of my favorite recurring bits is how every single one of Ben Schwartz's characters is unable to come up with a realistic sounding fake name when asked by Jake.
My name is Scalby.
Jim.
No, I know my name is Scalby Lassus.
Carrot.
Cherry dude! Sulu candles.
Charles. You hear that? You look pretty proud of yourself.
My last name is Krusht.
I also love anything involving stories of Amir's terrible dad, especially Dupes, Thomas Middleditch's recurring character, constantly mentioning how traumatized he was growing up from Amir's dad's
Tiny, spindly, sticky little legs.
I love the show. There are so many funny moments that I could talk about all day, which is a testament to the genius of its humor, especially when there's nothing really super technical to talk about. In a Jake and Amir video, outside of maybe a few in 700, there is no music, no effects, no real cinematic flourishes at all. Not to say that that's good or that you shouldn't go full ass into your videos. Friday Beer's sketches have become significantly better with more direction and budget, but if Jake and Amir proves anything, it's that the writing and performances are king, and that if you have a good joke to tell or a funny scenario in your head, you should get your camera out and press record.
Stuck on a mode.
Gotcha.
Oh! Amir fixed the problem. The crowd goes, oh wild.
Go home.
Why go home when I can stay at the